calling the game will be Jeff Van Gundy along with Mark Jackson and Mike Breen. And Jeff is nice enough to join us now in the middle of his preparation for the game. Jeff, it's Michael and Don. How you doing?
Doing great. Yourself?
Pretty good. Is there any way the Rockets get back in this series?
It would be hard for me to imagine that. Not because of anything, they can't do, but I just think Golden State has been the dominant team in the league right from the start. You don't, in this Western Conference, go 67-15 and be in the top 5 in both offense and defense without being a team that I think has a chance to be, a mini dynasty.
And you said it last time you were on, you think that they can win this championship and never really be tested by more than 5 or 6 games. If that were to happen, Jeff, with 67 wins in a tremendous Western Conference, this may go down as one of the greatest single seasons an NBA team has ever had, right?
No question. I think the Celtics, with Garnett in his first year, they were that type of team. And then I think, you'd have to go back to the, Jordan Bulls and the great Laker teams of, Shaq and Kobe when they had it rolling. I mean, people don't want to give them that same credit because they don't look the same as we remember, dominant teams being. They're led by a point guard who, isn't physically imposing, but his skill set is so tremendous that in today's NBA with the rules and who he's playing with, he's unguardable many nights.
It's interesting to me that Phil Jackson, the president of the Knicks, tweeted out a couple of weeks ago that he doesn't think that a team that relies on three-point shooting could win. And in the Final Four at that time, they were 4 of the top 7 teams in terms of three-point attempts. I would think, Jeff, that this is a sport now where you have to take a lot of three-pointers. Just mathematically, it makes sense that you would play that way.
Well, I think everybody's trying, or most teams are trying to do, similar things or get the similar results, which is, free throws, layups, and threes, right? And,
Yep.
And I think that's pretty, the math tells you that's how the game is going. But I do agree with Phil Jackson in this one instance that the three-point shot is a shot of high volatility. You can get the same basic shots from game to game, but one game maybe you make 13 or 14 threes. Heck, Golden State made 20 threes the other night and lost. 20 threes and lost. And there's other games that you can get the same shots and shoot horribly just because of the volatility. And so if you're the favorite, and this happened to Golden State in games 2 and 3 in the Memphis series, they didn't shoot it well, and they lost. So, again, I'm not all one way or the other. I think Phil Jackson, his point, I think, is well taken. You're going to be more consistent most nights if you're getting to the free throw line. But Golden State and these other teams are such historically good shooting teams that it doesn't present as much high volatility as maybe those same shots presented, even 10 years back. So, listen, it's here to stay. You could convince me that maybe we should move the line back because right now we don't have much variation in style of play in the NBA. But listen, it's not going away. This is the NBA right now, and you get on board or you get left behind.
Jeff, do you have a problem with Dwight Howard playing tonight?
No, because I don't like that point system. 4 points or 6 points and you're suspended automatically. I would rather have it be that if something egregious happens, then you suspend somebody like it used to be. It's the same with technicals. I don't. Who cares if a guy gets 6 technicals? If he does something egregious, suspend him. But I don't like this counting of points. That to me, I don't see where it serves a good purpose, and it just puts the credibility of the league office under unnecessary examination. So I think it was a flagrant 2 foul. I think he should have been ejected. By the way, they are ejecting people now. But in no way do I think he should be suspended. We have a sport that's built around the playoffs. We're the only sport that seems to take joy when we throw our best players out or we suspend them. I don't understand that. We need these guys. This is why people tune in.
I'm interested to get your take on this, Jeff. Steve Holman, who's been the radio broadcaster for the Atlanta Hawks forever, when Matthew Dellavedova was checking into the game in Game 4, he said Tanya Harding is checking into a game. And a lot of people are saying that he's a dirty player. You think Dellavedova is dirty?
Well, first of all, I read that line today, and I did laugh out loud. I thought it was a funny line. I mean, but see, when you make you assign dirty to somebody, you have to know intent. And there's no way I know what's in his heart as he's playing. I look at the 3 plays. The Taj Gibson play I thought was officiated completely wrong, especially in lieu that they had replay. That they threw Gibson out and nothing with Dellavedova, I didn't understand. I didn't think Gibson deserved to be thrown out. Maybe double technical fouls, but that's it. The Korver play is a loose ball play where he's hustling. I have no problem with that. Listen, you want to find guys that will fight for the ball and every inch on the court that you need to fight for to win games. The Horford one, to me, Horford should not have been thrown out. I don't know what's in his heart. Did he an extra half roll to roll into his knee? I don't know. I would not say that. I know there's a lot of things that go into a bunch of people getting together to say someone's dirty. And I think a lot of it has to do with some people believe, his skill set isn't NBA worthy. And I would disagree with that, too, because toughness and hustle and grit are important NBA skills. And so I'm not going to say he's dirty because, and I think we should all refrain from assigning a label to him unless we know what's in his heart or we see, plays that are dirty. These are borderline at best.
Jeff, if you're coaching the Cavaliers, would you have a problem with how much time you're going to have off before Game 1?
Well, it's not ideal as far as to continue a rhythm, but for them, particularly with Kyrie Irving, the rest is going to help them get healthier, and they need a healthy Irving to have a chance in the next series against Golden State if they advance tonight, because you can't guard Steph Curry, hobbled. Heck, you can't guard him when you're healthy, let alone hobbled, and they have a lot of other weapons. And so I am really that will be some point guard matchup if it comes to be. And obviously, rhythm for both teams. If Golden State wins tonight, and the rhythm will be affected, but both teams should be healthier than they've ever been all year, and it'll be fun to watch.
Final thing for Jeff Van Gundy, who's doing the game tonight, Warriors and the Rockets, Game 5 on ESPN, 9 o'clock the game starts. We'll also have it here on ESPN Radio if you're not near a TV. Is it possible, Jeff, that you could have more of an appreciation for the talent that is LeBron James after watching what he's done without Kevin Love, essentially without Kyrie Irving, and just sweeping through the Hawks?
No, I don't have more appreciation because when you've coached against a guy, you know how great he is. You know the angst he brings to you in trying to game plan. I also have great respect for how he's conducted his personal life. Never in trouble, seemingly very engaged in children's causes, seems to be a wonderful dad from what I can see. I have great admiration for how he goes about his business and what a great talent he is. And that doesn't mean coaching those guys is easy, by the way, too. The greatest in any profession are strong-willed, stubborn, etc., like Mike Breen. And, but we tolerate it because of his greatness.
And that's what he would take out of it. He wouldn't even take an insult out of there.
Right.
He'd just hear that you said he's the greatest, and he'd be fine and move on.
Yeah, well, he's telling himself that as he gets dressed right now, ready to go over the game. You know, he's looking in the mirror, you know, repeating, you know, I am the greatest. So, you know, come on.
When you think that, you think Muhammad Ali and Mike Breen.
Yes.
I agree.
That's it. Well, you know, the threesome in you know, like who's on the Mount Rushmore of people like we've seen in our life as greatness, right? So you got Muhammad, you've got Michael, and you got Mike. So there you go.
Now brings a whole new meaning to I want to be like Mike.
So it's not even the Mount Rushmore of broadcasters. It's
No,
the Mount
of all people.
Rushmore of sports.
Yeah. No, so no, of everybody in the world.
Yeah, it's just greatness. You know, maybe you'd put Mahatma up there too. But,
Teddy
you know,
Roosevelt.
Hey, Bree's carrying his big stick, which is, would you two shut up over there and let me speak? So
Sad. Well, I'll be listening to you because I have a special Mike Breen filter. I only listen to you and Mark. It's great.
Oh,
They have it
really?
at Radio Shack.
yeah, that's nice. I hope it's cheap too.
Just before they closed it down.
Be well.
Take
Have a
care,
good
guys.
game. Thanks.